So, DI and SDI counterplay, how to read it and how to adapt. So before we jump right into it, I'm going to explain what DI and SDI is, and not like, oh, you need to hold your stick that way or you need to wiggle your stick that way. I'm going to explain it in a more specific and detail, like a definition of it, because sometimes that can help understanding the bigger picture that DI and SDI counterplay is. DI, a mechanic in Super Smash Bros. And many other platform fighters that allows you to subtly adjust which direction your character travels when they get hit, often abbreviated as DI. After being hit, that is, on the very last frame of hit stop, the game will read the direction you're holding the analog stick and adjust the angle you get launched. Specific details depends on the game in question. For maximum effects, sometimes you want to influence your direction parallel to how the move naturally launches you, and other times you want to hold the stick 90 degrees away from this angle. For example, to survive a strong vertical up smash in melee, you need to hold left or right. Holding up or down will do nothing. You can use to save yourself from hitting a blast zone and dying, or to avoid follow-up hits from certain combo attempts. DI is a very important part of most platform fighters, and learning to DI in a specific direction to counter certain powerful moves, and learning to punish players who DI poorly is mandatory learning to get into competitive Smash. Smash games have a separate but related mechanic called Smash DI, which is basically SDI. So for SDI, a method for you to change the position of your character during the very brief moment of hit stop in platform fighters like Super Smash Bros., commonly abbreviated to Smash DI or SDI. While you're being impacted by an attack, moving the analog stick can subtly shift the location of your character and, for example, avoid the latter stages of a multi-hit move. It's related to directional influence, called DI, as a concept, since in both cases you are impacting your character's position after being hit. But Smash DI is done in a very short window while you're being hit before you're sent flying, while regular DI only impacts your flight path after the hit has fully resolved. So basically it just explains that you can adjust your drift and where you're going when you're getting hit, and SDI is mainly used for multi-hits, although not necessarily truly factual, because you can also SDI non-multi-hit moves. So for the DI and SDI kind of play of her moves, I'm going to go over grounded moves and aerials and specials, because the grounded moves have less counterplay and aerials have a bit more counterplay and a bit more situational depending on where you're getting hit and how. And then specials are going to be the big chunk and what people want to learn and how you're supposed to kind of play that. So this is for people who are watching this, maybe for learning Bayo, or maybe want to understand the character to better counterplay her. Please, whatever character you're playing in, regardless of their stats like gravity, weight, fast fall, and etc. when you're playing against Bayo, mix up your DIs and your SDIs. Please. It's super important. So, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to start with jab. Jab, the general SDI is going to be away or down and away. It's going to be away or down and away. Because when you're being hit by the multi-jab, you want to get away from the finisher or going down and away so you can hold shield. And there's a method called once you get out of the move by SDIing, you can hold shield and shield SDI, which I have a link in my notes. I'm going to link it on the description so you guys can look it up and maybe learn a few things. So there you go. There are situational SDI depending on where and how the jab is being done. The character's category is also very important. So I kind of divided in three categories. So you have the floaties, you have the midway characters, and then you have the fast fallers. For floaty characters, you want to go up and away. So like Peach, for instance, you always want to go up and away because you will float so effortlessly away, and most of the time you get comboed by this by 1, 2, if I can do it like that, and you're already up. So go up, you know, go upward, up and away, pretty good. Up and away is really good for that category, depending on the size of your character, like if they're thin or not. You might want to do up and away rather than straight away, because if you're pretty thin, you want to go away, because if you're thin like that, you want to go away so the move doesn't hit from this. You're just like, you're here and you do this and you're out of it, instead of going up because you're kind of tall or whatever. So that's the thing. Richter, like with Richter for instance, Richter is pretty thin but quite tall. So doing away instead of up and away is more adequate because his hurtbox is designed that way, basically. If jab is being comboed with fair 1-2 before, so 1-2 into jab, like that, SDI up and away is perfect because you're already airborne, so you're already up, like that. Like, I'm gonna play with frame by frame. You're already here, and you jab. If I just smash jab at a maybe at higher percents, maybe as well, that can be helpful, like around 30%, something like that. Like that, you're already up, so up and away is gonna be pretty good. So yeah, do that. Also, if you're being comboed like from like that, I'm just trying to get it. I'm just trying to get it right though. Oh nope, closer. If you're being hit off stage like that, down and away, perfect. If you're like quite thin and tall, down and away is perfect, because let's say the headbox is a ball like that, and you're like that, and you just go straight like that, It's perfect. Just down and away, you're not getting hit. Pretty good. If jab is being done close to the ledge and you're dropping out of it like that, if I can do it again. It's kind of hard to get though. It's so hard to get though. Basically, if you're being comboed from that angle, basically, if you're being comboed like that, you can do straight down. Basically, straight down, and you drop down. It's pretty good. For down or down and away is the right way, always. For middleweight characters, like Mario, for example, for like Mario, down and away, away is great. If done from fair 1-2, so like that. Up and away is pretty good because they're closer to being a floaty than a fast faller, so it's better to do up and away instead, because you're already pretty high up. Otherwise, just away also works pretty well. If close to the ledge and being hit while being off stage, down and away, or down. Pretty much the same with floaties. For fast fallers though, down and away is going to be also really good. If done from fair 1-2, up and away. If you're already high up. If you're not being high up, if you're not, like, if I do like 1-2 and you're not already in the air when I'm doing jab, like that, there's no reason for you to go up and away. You want to go down, you want to use that fast fall value, you want to go down and away and hold shield. And then you can shield the SDI and then get away with it and then counter attack. Because jab is really punishable on shield. So when you know that, when you're doing jab, the thing that you want to do is just react how they're trying to get out of it, and it's a matter of timing. If you do a fair 1-2 and then being hit off stage like that, you want to finish it earlier. Like you do 1, 2, if I can get it, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Can I get it correctly? We finish it earlier so they don't drop away or out of the move, and they, especially if they're high percent, they will die because they're already off stage. So for counterplay like that, no matter what kind of DI they're doing, you want to just time your move correctly and just like, oh, I feel like they're about to drop out of the move. I'm letting go of the move. I'm just finishing it earlier by doing another version. I'm just smashing it. I'm just letting go of the A button sooner than I would usually do, and that's the way how you want to react to that. So other moves, ftilt. No one gives a fuck if ftilt is being SDI or SDI, but I'm going to keep on keeping the info because no one is using ftilt, to be quite honest, because it's such a bad move. So ftilt is going to be the same SDI, like same SDI for everyone, pretty much. Down and away or away, because DI or SDI is going to be just as good because this move combos into so little, and even at 30% you can't even combo into anything. So like no one cares if you're SDIing that or not, because it's not a good combo anymore. So there you go. But if you want to SDI that move or DI that move, it's down and away or down. It's down and away or away, sorry. My bad. Anything that props you up, you need to go away or down. Away and or down, basically, because you want to avoid anything that is like ABK based or wishes based or even fair, because otherwise you get fucked. ftilt 1. ftilt 1 is going to be exclusively away to avoid the grab confirm, or also like you can also jump because no one is getting ready to cover jump out of ftilt, to be honest. ftilt 1 is going to be exclusively away to avoid the grab when it comes to strictly only GIs and no other forms of counterplay. I don't know why I brought that because it doesn't make any sense, but basically you just want to DI away, not SDI, because there's no point in SDIing ftilt 1, basically just DI. Okay, uptilt. Uptilt is kind of unique in its DI because it's going to be DIN. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, like, DIN is going to make it harder for like uptilt up air combos. Oh my god. So if he DIs in here, he wouldn't go behind me, he would go in front of me. And that's also really accurate when you want to do uptilt back air. If he DIs in, you have to reverse that back air. And no matter what DI they do in or out, you want to be able to hit them in the direction in which they're going. So uptilt is going to be in, really good for uptilt back air confirm. That forces Bayo to change her direction for back air, which happens a lot for DI mix-ups, which is super important. Good for avoiding uptilt up air strings, like I've just explained, and but you take instead a reset of fair on a platform if there is a platform in reach, basically. If I'm doing uptilt to do up air chains, you do down and away because you take one up air of the of the upair strings. That's it. SDI up is useless on uptilt. Please give up the ghost. Stop doing that. The amount of time I've seen like top players do SDI up on uptilt. What the fuck? What are you doing? You're basically asking to be comboed. What the fuck? Because if you do SDI up, you're even higher than double uptilt, and I did the up airs, and you die from it, and you're stupid, and you're dumb. Like, what the fuck? Like, people are, oh my god. And people just go on Twitter and just like, oh my god, Bayer was fucking top 5, what the fuck? Like, girl. Like, it's, come on. Down tilt. Down tilt, when being DI'd and SDI correctly, it's super fucking hard to combo off of it. Down tilt is going to be away and down and away. At early percents is really hard to follow it properly. Like, I think I can showcase that because it's very accurate when you play against people that actually know what they're doing in Bayo, which happens rarely, but it can happen. So down and away, and I'm gonna do down tilt at 0, and I'm gonna try to fucking do fair after. Like, he's already dropping, and if I'm delaying it, he is dropping out of that, so I have to do this, and I'm not even like 1, 2, and then this, and then I have to read it beforehand that he's gonna do like down and out. Sometimes even like, I think I wrote that after that. Oh yeah, so at 30% is really hard to follow up, like I just showed. It's even more so on fast followers, like, girl, and to follow up properly with that kind of GI. But around mid-percent, you can catch that with like a raw up air, because it's perfect angle for you to do raw up air basically. DI in is somewhat of a mix-up at high mid-percents, because if, for example, like a Lucina just like DIs or SDI in, she can do like dolphin slash after that, and you can die if you're at high percents, like, for real. And that happened to me, and I was like, oh, you've done the worst DI in the world, and I was not ready for that, and you kind of played that, so good job to you, props to your mama. That was really good, I guess. Okay, so now dash attack. Dash attack at low percents is going to be up or up and away, so you can avoid, like, pretty much the same with like Wolf, like with downthrow dash attack. You kind of want to DI up or up and away to avoid being take chased. That's what you want to avoid. At high percents, in, so you don't die, and you survive really, really long because the move does not kill well. So in is going to be what you want to do. You're not going to die from it. Just hold in, and you're fine, honey. You're gonna be fine. Nair. Nair is gonna be Nair is gonna be down and away to avoid follow-ups on and off stage. If it's being used as a combo ender off stage, and for combos you need to DI in, because otherwise you're just getting in. You're gonna fly into the blast zone. I might add that sometimes if you're doing nair at early percents, nair like that is going to be pretty hard, because I think they won't be able to take because it doesn't put in tumble, but you can try to take chase or just wait for whatever they do and then punish them maybe for grab instead. Same thing with down tilt. Down tilt, if you don't get anything, like, you can just wait and just get a grab after that. Like, you can try to do stuff. Basically, sometimes you can just like get that and just like fast fall as fast as you can the fair 3, because you always have to fast fall fair 3 if you want to be able to follow up. But yeah, at early percents when people are doing that, it's kind of hard to combo, so sometimes you want to combo with fair instead. It's not that hard. You just need to, like, oh, if you GA down in a way, I can just do that and, you know, keep on harassing you off stage. Okay, fair. Fair is gonna be the biggest part. One of the biggest part because I've seen so many bullshit ass fucking like SDI counterplay unfair, like on paper, like people coming to me like, what do you think of that SDI? And I'm like, what SDI? Mama, you're SDIing down and in. Like, what do you mean? Girl. So, but fair though is kind of tricky to SDI because it's very situational. But you need to SDI the move rather than DI. Down and away or straight away is always a safe bet. If you're being edge guarded, hard SDI in. Hard SDI in. Because it forces to adapt the drift with Bayo on fair, and you can fall off of it and you can recover before I'm even done with the animation of fair. So if I'm putting you off stage and I'm comboing you with this, if you hard SDI in, you can get behind me. And even if I'm starting to edge guard you with witch twist, you want to hard SDI in because I'm forced to like adapt my drift at the same time while you're going behind me with SDI in. So I need to like drift in, drift behind, and like then do fair like that, and then keep on having my combo going and not being reversed, or you're just recovering before I do, and I'm not getting my advantage stage anymore. It's like, So as a floaty character, you can SDI up and away, or just up at low percents. Up and away is always better because you want to be away from Bayo, but also since you're really floaty, up and away is pretty good at very low percents to avoid some of the follow-ups. But around late to mid, around late mid percents, not mid then late, like at the last section of mid percents, you can allow yourself to do this at the expense of your stocks because it's pretty easy to track, to read, and to adapt the combo route because I can literally just do upair, you fucking SDI up and away, and you die. And even on ladder combos, it's super easy to read and to adapt. And yeah, for floaty characters still on fair 1-2 train, oh my god, it's so fucking delayed. Like that, I don't have any fucking person, so that's why it's not working. But on fair 1-2 trains, you want to SDI, you can SDI up and away because I have to go down, then up, then down, then up, then down, and since you're kind of floaty, you can just do up and away, and I won't be able to follow you unless I read that and I do 1-2 and I jump with you and then do fair 1-2 3 and I end the combo. That can be something that can be done. Because it forces Bayo to finish the whole string and not do jab finisher or uptilt or whatever she wants, and basically uptilt into whatever she wants. If you get hit but max range fair in going into fair 1-2 train, so basically there's a difference between hitting hit like that and getting hit like that, because the tipper hitbox is not gonna it's going to position you in a weird way, or at least it's going to make you go higher or not. And if I'm too far away, going down is going to be better because I have to drift and hold in and do the string. I mean, do fair 1-2 3, do the fair 1-2 train, and it's going to be a lot harder for me to get it. And you can just like hold down and away and then SDI that as hard as you can, and then hold shield, and then not hold shield but just like make sure that if I do that into your shield, you can punish me with like a grab or like an option out of shield if you have one. So yeah, down and away if you get hit by fair 1-2 from far away. If you're close, up and away, depending on your percents. And basically you just need to take in consideration where you are when you're getting hit. If you're already up, up and away. If you're close to the ground, down and away. Like it's not science. It's not rocket science. It's just logic. Like if you're already close to the ground, you don't want to go up and away because it's going to be a lot more effort and like a lot harder and more work and effort for you to just go up and away from a move like that. You know. So if you get hit by max range by fair and going into fair 1-2 train, you can SDI down and away like I've said, and land with shield to avoid anything besides grab. Not too important if you're not close to the ledge, plus at low percents. If that's the opposite, you can react to a potential grab and not die from fthrow and DI mix up with downthrow, because if I'm doing this towards the ledge, that can be an issue if you're shielding, because I can grab you and I maybe I'm already foreshadowing the fact that you're going to DI in after that, because you're like, oh, I'm shielding, she's probably going to grab me, so I can downthrow into whatever shenanigans I have after that. So that's really important. So that's why there are situational SDIs to avoid certain situations and certain potential guessing games and follow-ups, I would say. If you're a mid-weight or fast faller, down and away is always the right answer. Always down and away. SDI, DI or SDI up is not going to help you if you're getting comboed with Witch Twist as a combo. Started from the ladder, because there are ways to catch that and you're going to die. Because I'm talking about Witch Twist. Oh, right. Because some people tend to just like, if I do this, sometimes they will SDI up and away, even though they're fast fallers, and I don't get it. And then I can literally just do up air, and you probably will die because you're still holding like up. This doesn't make any sense. This is more relevant for midway characters. So there you go. Backair. Backair, if used as a combo starter, you DI away. If otherwise, if it's used as a main killing tool, you DI in. As a combo finisher or as a edge guarding killing tool. That's just about it. There is not much like how to adapt to that, or just whatever. For fair though, when I'm thinking about it, it's just a matter. It's the same thing with jab. You kind of wanna, if they're going down, use nair instead. Like for real. Like if I'm doing this in fair and I see they're going down, well, instead you can do nair, because it's the same stuff, because they are DIing for nair to hit instead. Downair, there isn't much counterplay, you just DI in, you don't want to die. If you want to avoid downair finisher with Witch Twist 2, with the combo, with that combo, you SDI up and away or away before the downair comes out. But it's kind of hard, and like most of the time, Bayos would do that combo when they are around here. Oh shit, I thought that was like, no! Anyways, like I was saying, you can, Bayos will do, at least me, I would do the downair combo, the downair finisher on Witch Twist 2, when I'm around this zone. Or this zone, a little bit higher. Like, you know where it's written damage, I would do at that height or even lower, because I know the spike will just work. So That's what you can do. So away or up and away, if your floaty characters, up and away is going to be good, and down and away, not down and away, but just away is going to be good as well. Yeah, there isn't much to do that, because sometimes you think it's gonna work and then you do it and it doesn't work and you're like, oh fuck, I just died before. Shit happens. It's alright. So upthrow. Upthrow, DI doesn't really matter, because they aren't real. There are any real true follow-ups, but DI away is always a good choice. And like I've explained, if they GI away, you can jump, you can full hop upair, you can full hop up here and do fair 1 2 3, or you can just like witch twist ABK, and it will get hit by ABK, and then you do second up B into fair 1 2 3, and that would do like 30% something, between 20 and 30%, which is not negligible and pretty good in my opinion. For throw, DIN. And even past 200, you don't even die from that move, so just DIN. There isn't much you can do, so just DIN. Downthrow, that's where things get interesting, as downthrow is used as a DI mix-up for fthrow. So if I'm using downthrow, you want to DI away. DI away is the way against downthrow, and DIN sets up for cool read confirmed with like I've explained, if I do this into jump witch twist jump backair like that, if they DIN and they jump to go back onto the stage, it kills around 200, past 200 on mid-weights. When they DIN, if fthrow is stalled, you can use downthrow if you can try, because that can surprise them sometimes. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for like the grounded moves and the aerials. Now onto the specials, and specials are going to be quite extensive. So before we get into the specials, when it comes to the specials, remember that SDI counterplay on Bayonetta's side comes with experience and time. You have given answers like down and away for the opponent to do. Like if they do down and away on specials, you can just do nair, because that's the logical thinking. But the best teacher for that is to go play and figure it out with some basic knowledge, right? Some of the answers are just a matter of asking yourself, how do I follow this angle with my kit in this moment? And most players will only do SDI. I mean, they will only do one SDI, so you can follow that. Only players at very high level are starting to understand that you need to adapt your SDI and mix it up. That you need to mix it up, and you also need to adapt your direction depending on where Bayonetta is facing and launching you. Because otherwise it gets your DI messed up, and maybe you're doing like a DI down and away, and I do ABK and I do reverse switch twist, and you get put on the other side, and that down and away gets turned into a SDI in and down and in, and that fucks you up real bad. So yeah. And also players need to understand that SDI counterplay is not a free out of jail card. It makes everything harder for Bayo to execute, and it requires a lot of adaptation on the fly as well. So without further ado, I'm just gonna talk about that. So specials, let's start with Bullet Climax. Bullet Climax, if not charged and you are off stage, you want to go down and away, because you want to avoid, you want to drop down out of it and then jump and then do your recovery basically. If it's being charged, you DIN, because it's gonna be a killing tool. You can kill with it, so you just DIN. Okay, heel slide. Heel slide. You want to DI and not SDI. You want to DI down and away. Down and away is always right. It is always right because depending on the distance at which Bayonetta is hitting it, you can be close to the ground and take during the slide, and then you can punish her. Don't SDI because basically there's a weird thing with SDI and it will just cancel the fact that you can tag during the slide. So just DI down and away and you can tag. Yeah, because like I've explained in the heel slide section, distance and spacing is going to be really important for that move, otherwise you won't be able to do whatever you want with it. DI up for floaties is actually pretty good because you're going to avoid the kick, which is the second part of the heel slide. Because Peach getting hit by that, she goes flying. She goes flying by here, and she's so high up she won't get hit by the kick. And I have to come up with like another special, and she can already like do up then away. It's getting tricky and I can whiff everything. Also be aware of the distance at which you're doing or hitting heel slide. If you're not ready to react or read the DI on heel slide, you will not be able to follow on time, and you might do an option too late because you're like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that DI or do that kind of DI that is so niche or so rare. And yeah, and sometimes you're just like, oh, I'm doing this because you were thinking about how you were going to counter it, and then you're just getting fucked up because it's not the right one. And you're just like, oh damn, I whiffed, and then they can punish you after that. Okay, now afterburner kick, so ABK. A lot of people that don't know about ABK, and I'm really happy because it's like kind of hidden knowledge, is that the SDI multiplier is stronger on ABK than witch twist. So if you want to SDI a move, it's going to be ABK. And because I won't be able to follow up after that, because the SDI multiplier is stronger on this move than it is on witch twist. I think the SDI multiplier is 12. No, it's 2.0 for. I don't know. I don't know if it's the higher it is harder or the lighter, the smaller it is harder. Basically, between witch twist and ABK, one of them is 1.5 and the other one is 2.0. And I think the 2.0 is going to be on ABK and 1.5 is going to be on witch twist. Basically, if you're SDI ABK, you go flying. I cannot follow up. I cannot. I can try to do like a landing nair, but I cannot hit you. So, the SDI multiplier is stronger on ABK than witch twist. So if you want to SDI a move during ladders, it's going to be ABK. Although SDI witch twist is also good for certain scenarios to avoid or getting to avoid and getting out of them, or making the combo harder to execute for Bayonetta. And I'm begging you, when it comes to the specials, when you're getting hit by Bayo, never sleep on defensive play against her when it comes to her SDI and DI counterplay, because a lot of people just don't know. They're like, oh yeah, I'm tired of doing that, but bitch, like, keep on doing it because this is how you're supposed to play against the character. Like, this is the counterplay. And people are just like, oh, I just have to SDI, just have to SDI. I SDI all the time against a lot of characters, and not because like, oh, against that character you have to SDI, because you can SDI single hit moves, and sometimes SDIing single hit moves is super important. Like, if you play melee, if you play against Fox, you have to SDI all the fucking time. It's not even like multi-hit moves, it's single hit moves, bitch. Like, you have to do it. So, for ABK, down and away is always right. Never in. Never, never in. Never. Never DI in. Never SDI in. Never. Never. Please, stop SDIing in. Stop DIing in against ABK. I know you're scared, you're afraid of getting comboed, but stop. because otherwise you're getting back-aired. You're gonna take back air and you're gonna die and you go flying all across the stage and be like, well, fuck, I just DI'd in. What the fuck? It's like, yeah, you DI'd in. You died for that. Like, what do you want me to say? If you're getting comboed with ABK off stage, wait for which twist to DI in, to SDI in. So basically, if I catch you off stage with ABK, you're here, and I do ABK. Wait for Bayo to either do like another ABK in which you SDI away. If she does which twist, you SDI hard in to get behind her. Do not SDI or DI ABK in if you want to die. Okay, that's a simple rule for real. On jump squad ABK, that if the opponent is SDI down and away, it's not gonna work. If I put SDI and I put down and away and I remove away and down and away because I don't need that, and I put SDI strength on even medium, I think that works. Like oh, that works. No, well, on high because people have strong SDIs. Like it's hard, but like at higher percents that wouldn't hit. Like at 0%, of course, because there is no knockback on that shit. So like here, because you need to hit it at tipper range like that, it doesn't hit. See that? It doesn't hit. Doesn't even work. Only if I don't drift in. Like if I try to drift in, if they GI down and away, you can do this into like, oh shit, into fair if you want to, which can happen, but also you need to be careful with like your distance and like your drift. Oh shit. Like that. That can be something you can do. Otherwise, jump squad ABK doesn't work. Jump squad ABK back air doesn't work. That will work, but apparently it only works around like 140. Need to hit at super max range at the first lower on the right hitbox. The first lower, so the hitbox on ABK looks like that. So the first lower hitbox is gonna be on the right. So the first red circle on the right, you need to hit them with that hitbox, and then you can confirm that into like a back air. Yeah, and I need to like really at max range if I want to hit it. So yeah, you need to hit the super max range, the first lower on the right hitbox, to make them go behind me with my drift, thanks to the hit stun, and then do back here while staying drifting in, like I've done here. Because if you don't drift in, they're going to be in front of you, but you can do fair instead if you want to. Most of the time on ABK, in specials in general, nair is going to be really good for your combo tools to adapt your combo routes, and when using ABK and facing it down and away SDI while comboing. If they do SDI or SDI away, you can fill up with fair instead, like here, because I was still a bit further away and I could still do fair. If you're setting up a combo off stage, that is, if you're doing a combo with like that setups for upstage, that is the perfect SDI that setups for dive kick. A lot of people would just like do down and away off stage, and I would just like dive kick, and then they go super high up because I hit them super low, like I've explained, like the lower part of their hitbox, and they go super high, and I do upper bullet art, or I do upper bullet art, and they die because they're still DIing up and down and away, or just straight away, and they die. So that's something they can do as well off stage. So down tilt, nair, ABK, dive kick. Only if they're keeping the same DI as DI, otherwise that can miss you pretty bad, because if they switch their DI after ABK, they start DIing in, dive kick is not gonna hit, and you're gonna go straight into the abyss. Down tilt, fair reset on platform, ABK dive kick is also a pretty good one. Like this one, I think. Well, I think in higher percents, but basically you can do flame closer maybe, like that, and then you can combo into that, and then you can come back, because they're sort of staying down and away, and they're gonna die because where you want them to go. So that's something you can do as well. Also, I think that like down tilt, nair, ABK, dive kick, and then you do this, and they keep on dying away, and they die. So it's something you can also do if you're starting with like combos with ABK. I mean, if you kind of want to combo with ABK and you're going off stage, these are options you can do. So after ABK, we have dive kick. So dive kick, down and away, is always going to be good, because you won't be able to follow up. Oh shit! What the fuck? You won't be able to follow up with witch twists for dive kick, witch twist, ABK, witch twist, dive kick, witch twist, ABK, witch twist for 1, 2, 3. The basic combo that you have at 70%. Even if I put them at 70% and beyond, it's not gonna work, because they're too far away. So you can do dive kick. You need to hit them like pretty low. What the? To be fair, sometimes a nair can work. But still, down and away is super good against Bayo, so you're not going to be able to follow it properly. So dive kick, ABK, sometimes if they kind of bit scared, they kind of drift in, you can do ferrets with that. So that can happen. So around 70% Bayonetta unlocks a new combo around dive kick as a combo starter. So if you touch the upper body part, which twist or ABK won't connect. The lower body part, if you hit with dive kick, ABK sometimes connects, depending on like weight class and all that stuff. So ABK might connect depending on how low you hit dive kick with upair and or fair follow up. So I mean, you can do like 1, 2, 3 like that sometimes, even if I like a bit lower, maybe like you can do fair here. Oh my god, what's inputting this and then this maybe. Sometimes, yeah, fair or up air is going to be pretty good. Sometimes you only get this. It sucks, but hey. If dive kick is being used as a combo starter, do not DI in right after, because like I've shown, like with like down tilt, nair, and ABK dive kick, if you start DI in after the dive kick, I mean if they start DIing in after the dive kick, you can go for like double witch twist, up air for 1, 2, 3. But you can even go for like witch twist for 1, 2, 3. You can go for up air for 1, 2, 3 after that. Like you can do so much. You can do so much, and they'll die. They will fucking die. And like the amount of time I've done that to people, oh my god. Like sometimes they panic. They switched and mix up their SDI a bit too late, and that's like that sucks. Now we're getting into which twist. Which twist. Which twists? So, which twist initial DI SDI leads to an endless flow charts for combos. Talking about like every single one of them would just be impossible and also way too long. Just putting that out of there. Because depending on how you SDI and how you DI, you won't be able to do the same follow-up. You might just do one witch twist. You won't be able to do witch twist and jump. Sometimes you will be able to do double witch twist and like nothing. Sometimes you will just be able to do double witch twist into fair. Sometimes you won't be able to. Sometimes witch twist into ABK into another ABK. Like there's so much because people sometimes do an SDI then DI then they do another SDI in the other way. Like so it's just a matter of like how you read it and how you adapt it. So I'll focus on like actual SDI counterplay for that move. To the right SDI and some shit SDI because I've seen some shit SDI from players from my local scene and also like players like top players, like actual good players in my country and even like internationally. Like what the fuck? That's sometimes kind of questionable. So, down and away is the right answer for especially mid and fast ballers because you just drop down. It's pretty good. For floaties though, you can SDI up and away at low percents, but later on, it's not something you should do. And the reason why, you should move to a SDI down and away to avoid most of the follow-up if possible. A rule of thumb with SDI on witch twist and ABK is that you must adapt your SDI depending on which side you are. So basically which way Bayonetta is sending you basically. Because if I'm doing like let me try to do that. Reset. I'm gonna put him like at 40% something, and I'm gonna go into frame by frame. So up tilt, up. I'm gonna try to do. Here I reversed my upbeat, so he went to like upbeat, then onto the right, then ABK'd onto the right, but then he went kind of behind me, so I reversed my upbeat so I can hit him. Now he's on the left, and when someone is on the left, if their GI is going down and away like that, like basically like this, on the right, on the left they have to go that way. So if I'm following Richter's DI, that goes like that. And a lot of people just don't even know that because they're kind of too lazy to even think about those things, even though it's logical. And so basically, if you start the combo to the right, but I continue it to the left, you need to SDI down and away to the left. And a lot of people just forget that, and it's sad. It's so sad. Because that SDI away, if I reverse it, if I reverse my upbeat and you're getting hit and you go towards the left, that turns into SDI in. And you go super high up. And then you die. So, yeah. Not my fault if you're getting hit by those basic stuff. There are a lot of like weird particular interactions with witch twist with a certain amount of like hits. So it's very hard to cover everything because sometimes depending on certain SDI or SDI, because witch twist is like a 7-hit move, sometimes you will only get 3, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes too. It depends on like on how hard they are DIing or SDIing. Sometimes it also depends on like the character's hard box and everything. So that's quite weird. So that's like an example of like, and then Richter is going to be like that way, you know. So that's something that I wanted to show because it's super important. So SDI up and away. If you're able to follow up on the ladder, you will have to jump fair when you're doing like up Bs and stuff. When you're doing up B, side B, up B. Oh my god, Richter is like so hard to combo sometimes. When you do this and they do SDI up and away, you will have to jump and you will have to jump fair 1, 2, 3 at the end sometimes. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't have. You just need to be focused and you need to react to that. So if you're able to follow up on the ladder, you will have to jump fair to finish off the combo. Upair is also pretty good to catch them off guard because it might kill them at high percents. Plus, if you have rage, because sometimes they're DIing straight up and away or full up. You do upair, like the game. You're like, oh, okay, so you died from an upair. Right, okay, next. SDI up. I am begging you, if someone is doing SDI up against you, I want you to punish them as hard as you fucking can. Because no one is allowed to do SDI up. It's fucking shit. It is shit. It is garbage. No one should do this. Like SDI up, you must hard punish them for doing the worst SDI available. Like top players doing this SDI, and I'm not even kidding. Like doing this SDI and complaining about the character is unacceptable to me. Because what the fuck are you doing? SDIing up. Like what? If you're SDI up, I can literally just do witch twist 1, jump fair 1, 2, 3, or double witch twist. I can do witch twist 1, jump, delay witch twist, and then do up air, and you take the same amount of fucking damage. And I can even sometimes do ABK into another ABK into the other way, and then do like up air or even a back air sometimes. Like people, and they take even more damage. Like what the? Oh my god, it's so terrible. It really is. I hate it here. Like, I really do. So basically to punish it, you will have to jump fair at the end, and you might as well delay between witch twists, like I've explained, and ABK sometimes. Sometimes with the DI up, you do witch twist ABK. Sometimes you have to do witch twist, jump ABK, witch twist, and then do an up air because they will be a bit too high up to do fair. So that can be usable. I've done this against a Rob player that did up against Bayo with Rob. So I was like, no, mama. Like I jump witch twist, like witch twist, jump ABK, witch twist, up air, and he died. Like, like what do you mean? Like it's so bad. And yeah, so you might as well delay between witch twist and ABK so you can reposition yourself, but not for too long, otherwise they can get out of it by just doing an air dodge. So that's it for the SDI and DI kind of play. Also a thing, if you want to learn how to read it, is it still on SDI? No. SDI is indicated by this. I'm gonna do full away because it's gonna be easy to read it, and on high. So basically, a SDI is gonna be showcased or symbolized that die. But so I'm trying to. Oh, perfect. So you see around Victor's arm, you have like this curve with spikes on it. Basically, this curve indicates the direction in which they are SDIing. And the spikes are kind of like indicates the intensity of the SDI. So when you're comboing, you kind of want to look for that. As well, when they are DIing, I don't know if it's on though. Oh no, it's not on. I'm gonna do DI away. Okay, it's on. So basically when someone DIs, you will have that little, you see that blue arrow? That means they're DIing away. Sometimes, I used to not see it before because I didn't need it and I still don't need it. It's just like because I've kind of mastered Bayos combos at this point that I just like when I'm doing a combo, I'm just like, oh, I feel that I can feel it in my combos and the way that my combo feels by the way I'm executing it, that they're doing a certain DI or SDI basically. So, but you can look for that kind of like indicators. So for SDI, the little white curve with the spikes in is super important. I use it. It's super important, and that helps you with basically reading it and adapting on the fly for your combos. And this is for DI. The blue arrow is going to be for DI. I basically don't use it because at this point I kind of see like depending on the angle that they're getting launched with like certain moves, I'm just like, oh, that's DI in, that's DI away, that's up and away, that's down and away, that's down and in for whatever reason. I can read it and I'm just like, oh, if they do this I have to do that because this point it's kind of like in my visual memory and also my muscle memory at this point. So that's how you learn how to read it basically. So with that done, we are going to move on to the neutral because Bayes neutral is super important and is sometimes quite overlooked, and I'm going to talk about that right now.